People frequently talk about actors' nightmares, where they have a horrible dream that they're pushed on stage to do a part or a song or a dance in a show that they've not rehearsed for, in front of a live audience. Similar to this, last March, you might have found yourself in the middle of a COVID nightmare. You walk to the back of the store, your footsteps quick, intent on leaving with what you came for. You see something in the distance, white, glistening, beckoning you. You break into a giddy, slow-motion run, the soundtrack of Chariots of Fire playing in your head. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, ha-da-da-da-da. You glide toward that precious commodity you took for granted until now. You reach out your hand, your fingertips centimeters away from that 12-pack of paper rolls you so desperately need. When inches away from victory, a woman in your hand snatches it before you do, simultaneously running her cart into your shin. If you've had a dream like this, or maybe it was your reality, you were part of the Great Toilet Paper Shortage of 2020. Not to be confused with the Great Toilet Paper Shortage of 1973, when talk show host Johnny Carson joked about a toilet paper shortage and accidentally created one. Our ancestors might not have believed that toilet paper would be such an important commodity in our lives, and it's actually had quite a colorful past. Wiping began with some harsh surrogates, think sponges, even rocks and corn cobs. Luckily, all of these rougher substitutes would be wiped away in favor of the soft paper that now caresses our most sensitive part. As a result of this varied history, fun facts accompany any discussion on toilet paper. Let's begin with the rugged choices first. As early as 400 BC, Buddhist monks left reminders of what wiping etiquette should be. Ronald H. Bloomer in Wiped, A Curious History of Toilet Paper, suggests that these monks used sticks to remove waste material. Their rules state, Rule 1, one should not wipe oneself with a rough stick. Rule 2, only use a soft stick. According to David Hiskey in an article from Today I Found Out, around the same time, Greeks were wiping with their hand, only their left hand. The left hand was used for wiping, while the right hand was used for more clean activities, like picking up food or shaking someone's hand. Apparently this trend was influential because this practice still persists in India today. The preferred method is to wipe with your left hand in water and wash your hand afterwards. Of course, no food is handled with the left hand. Yikes, if you're left-handed like me, you should count ourselves lucky. We don't have to do this. Now let's fast forward to America, in more modern times, where the preferred methods were corn cobs and plants. American poet James Whitcomb Riley, writing in the late 1800s, proves that corn cobs were a staple of the outhouse in this poem. The torture of that icy seat would make a Spartan sob, for need must scrape the gooseflesh with a lacerating cob, that from a frost-encrusted nail was suspended by a string, for father was a frugal man, and wasted not a thing. So when did using paper first come into vogue? As early as the 6th century AD, people were using paper, rough paper. Seemingly, paper wasn't enough, because a Muslim traveler to China in the 8th century said, "The Chinese do not wash themselves with water, but only wipe themselves with paper." According to Hiskey, by 14th century China, there was an annual manufacturing of 10 million packages of paper used for this purpose. But it took well over 1,000 years for Europe to catch on, due to the invention of the printing press. Books were informative, but according to Bloomer, the thin absorbent stuff on which the books were impressed was just too tempting to resist, and the use for paper for wiping gained steam in the Western world. It wasn't until mid-19th century, though, that the seeds of advancement began. Hiskey suggests that in 1857, the first commercial paper in America was produced. It was sold in flat sheets that were moistened and soaked with aloe. In today's prices, it would have been $14 for only 500 sheets. In the 1860s, though, the aloe was dropped by the Scott brothers, whose ancestors are still in the business today, and the products became cheaper. Though cheaper, manufacturing wasn't very good, and splinters often came with the product. Ouch! In 1935, Northern Tissue would boast that their toilet paper was finally splinter-free. Most Americans resisted buying toilet paper because they were content with getting it for free in other forms. they would use the pages of an old discarded Sears and Roebuck catalog, as well as the Farmer's Almanac. The almanac, according to Hiskey, even came with a hole in it, so it could easily be hung in outhouses. But indoor plumbing would cause Americans to switch to soft tissue altogether, because the pages of the catalogs and almanac clogged up the pipes. Surely by now you have some questions, and you would even welcome some fun facts. So, why is toilet paper white? According to Emily DeNuzzo in the Reader's Digest, the pulp used to make toilet paper comes straight from recycled paper, which is naturally white, but the glue is brown. No one really wants to use brown toilet paper, so hydrogen peroxide or chlorine is used as a bleach to make it whiter, while also removing the substance lignin, which in turn softens the paper. My next fact tells us that some brave decorators in the 1950s promoted colored toilet paper to match the colors of your bathroom. DeNuzzo says it was popular for a while, but fell out of favor due to concerns about the safety of pastel dyes on the skin and environment. Speaking of environment, my last fact tells us that in 2011, some enterprising Afghani entrepreneurs decided to recycle old Kurans into their toilet paper. As you can imagine, the aftermath included threats of stoning the owners of the mill and destroying the property. That's not good. So by now, we all know that toilet paper is a great necessity, but in 2020, not everyone hoarded toilet paper. So who was most likely to hoard? Type A, a person who's prudent, over-prepares, organized, and in general is a perfectionist. Or type B, a person who's content with rocks, corn cobs, and the good old Farmer's Almanac. Just out of curiosity, which one are you more like? I thought so. Let's hope the great toilet paper shortage of 2020 is behind us.